My name is NCR. I love creating thought-provoking and bright content and encouraging people to get into the Bible for themselves. If that sounds like something you are interested in, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button. Today, I'm going to be answering a few common questions that new believers or people who start to get into the Bible for themselves ask about Bible study or Bible reading. And if I don't end up answering your question today, you can always connect with me on social media and send me your questions because I love answering questions here on Daily Sunshine. So let's get to the video, shall we? What if I don't feel like reading God's Word? In my few years of Bible reading, there's been many times when I haven't felt like reading God's Word, and I know that's definitely a question other young people have, and what if I don't feel like reading God's Word? I think a good answer to that, and an answer I've heard before, is just, read God's Word even if you don't feel like it. But I would say that if you don't feel like reading God's Word, don't read it. Because I know from my few years of experience here, there's been times when I've overdone it in reading maybe, and then because of that, there's times when I haven't felt like reading, and so that's fine. You can go a little while without reading it, but it definitely, last question there I answered is just, it is really important to get into God's Word daily, and so make sure you are, what is it you're not feeling like reading? Is it you don't feel like reading any bit of it, or you just don't feel like reading a lot of it? Because surely 1 or 2 verses a day isn't too much. So, what is my answer to this question? What if I don't feel like it? Read. I guess I guess if you ask that question, what if I don't feel like reading? I'm gonna answer that question. I guess my final answer to that question is gonna be a question. What is it you don't feel like reading? Do you because that would, I guess that would help give context if I need some context then to the answer. Is it you don't feel like reading? And I'm repeating myself and I'm going in circles. I tend to do that a lot in my videos, but if you don't feel like reading, lots and lots of chapters, that isn't necessary. Just read 1 or 2 verses, and if you don't feel like, maybe take a couple of days breaks, a couple of days, take a couple days off from reading God's Word if you don't feel like reading it. But it really is important to spend time with God's Word daily. I know there's been many times. Was I attending? No, I was in God's Word daily, wasn't I? There was a time, I can't remember properly, and I definitely, as a Christian, the times when I have not been reading God's Word, those are times that I want to forget. But there was a time that I wasn't, this is very faint in my memory, but I think I remember a time when I actually, a span of 50 some days, or quite a few days, a few weeks when I actually didn't read God's Word. Because I had read through the Bible in its entirety, and then I was just I read it through, but it definitely, I'll get to talking about reading the Bible through another time, but if you don't, I guess I'm just going to use that answer that other people have answered the question. Read it even if you don't feel like reading it, because it really is important, but don't, just try to get into it. I don't know, find some friends, find a group, or find a plan or something, and get into it at least a little bit every day, just a little bit. Make sure you are hearing something from that, because it doesn't take long. Is it, are you not wanting to read it because you have a busy schedule and you just don't have time and you wore out? Just be devoted to just making a little bit of time to read God's Word. Well, that's it kind of for this answer. I was going to do one long video answering all these Bible study related questions, where should I read in the Bible, how often should I read the whole Bible through in its entirety, should I read it through in a year, or how fast, should I read, how much of the Bible should I read a day, should I spend time in the Bible every day, and all that, and a pile of other Bible related questions. I was going to do one long video answering all those questions, but I just thought it'd be too long and it'd be too boring and you wouldn't watch to the end. So that's why I am breaking it up into a series of smaller videos like this, but also maybe a little known fact about me, maybe not a little known fact, it depends how much you know me, but I'm more than just a YouTuber. I am a blogger, I'm a writer, I'm a podcaster, and so, I didn't diminish all that, but I am a blogger, and so, and a writer. So, what I'm saying here is that I wrote a blog post titled, where should I read in the Bible, a short Bible Q&A. So answering all these different questions, and so there will be a link in the description of this video to that blog post where you can, if you have these questions, where you can read it. But if you don't, if you're not a reader, if you love watching YouTube videos, well, I will have other YouTube videos answering these questions. And if you have other questions, like if I'm not answering, your Bible study related question, or if you have other spiritual related questions, or just, if you have questions about God, like, is God weird, or can God kill people, or something like that. I am doing videos on some of these topics and these questions. If you have questions, though, about any, Bible study God, and I encourage you to connect with me on social media, at the SunShining NCR on Instagram, at the SunShining on Facebook and Twitter, and send me your questions there, or you can just, ask your questions in the comments on this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And if you're loving my content, please share the sunshine. Share the brightness, share the love, share my videos with your friends. That would really help. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much.